Childhood obesity is one of the most rapid growing diseases in America and other countries, especially developing countries or newly developed countries. In America alone, the CDC has found that child obesity has nearly tripled its rates since the 1970s. Childhood obesity is a very common thing in America, and many people are often affected by it. Several audience members responded to my analysis saying that they knew that they have been affected by childhood obesity, whether that be themselves, a family member, a coworker, their own child, anyone they know in their daily life could have been affected. Childhood obesity is often confused with a child being obese. Well, it used to be. So according to my audience analysis, the majority of them responded saying that they knew the difference between being obese and being overweight, which is a good sign. Childhood obesity is actually one of the most easily treatable and preventable diseases. The ways we can prevent it is with a good diet and exercise, and making sure that children don't develop bad eating habits, which is eating as a coping mechanism. The first thing I want to talk about is my plate, and this goes in hand with the diet category. And my plate is the new and improved food pyramid and has been for a while, and it's just a plate divided up into 4 different sections, and then you have a cup which is for dairy. And I'll start with dairy, and you want to get 3 cups a day. And when it comes to dairy, you want to make sure that you're aiming for low fat, low calorie dairy products, which could be yogurt and milk or cheese, any sort of dairy product. And fruits and vegetables should make up half of your plate. And to start with fruits, it's recommended that everyone has 2 cups a day. And the thing with fruits is you want to make sure it's whole fruit, not pre-cut fruit that you buy that's already pre-cut. Vegetables, you should be getting 3 to 4 servings of different colored vegetables each day, because the different colors have different nutrients and vitamins. They do different things for your bodies. The next category is protein, and protein should be switched up as well. You should switch between eggs, steak, fish, chicken, whatever type of protein you eat should switch up. And protein also is different for gender, so each gender needs a different amount of protein. And the median I found was 5 to 6 ounces a day. The last thing we have is grains, which is kind of hard to see. You need 3 ounces a day of grains, and with grains you want to make sure that it's whole grains rather than just regular grains, because they're more healthy for you. We all know that you can't just have a healthy diet. Exercise is also important to making sure your heart is healthy, and it boosts your metabolism and does a lot of good things for your body, especially for children. Fit Youth did a study that showed that 42% of children are not getting the recommended amount of exercise they needed daily, which can be very dangerous, especially if a child's diet is very poor. Also, the important thing with exercise is not that they're just getting the right amount, that they're getting an age-appropriate exercise. And also, Fit Youth showed different examples of what kind of exercises children will be doing. So for example, a 2-year-old, an appropriate exercise for them would be kicking a ball or climbing up and down the stairs a few times. And an exercise that would be appropriate for like preteen age would be group exercises such as like football, lacrosse, soccer, even swimming, something that keeps them moving for an hour or more each day. And exercise and a good diet can make sure that children are not obese and getting what they need. The last thing is that we need to acknowledge that there are some things we can't do to help children who are obese, and this would be genetic issues. There are 32 known genes that can be inherited by children who have parents who are obese, and they have a 50% chance of inheriting those genes. So if a parent is obese, you probably have a good chance of being obese or having a weight issue too. The last thing I mentioned was making sure that children are not having bad eating habits. And this goes hand in hand with home life, because University of Texas did a study that showed that children who have a married, happy household have a better chance of not being obese or having these bad eating habits than a child who lives in 2 different homes or with 2 different parents or has home issues. So again, it's very important that children have a good diet and exercise the recommended amount, and that we do realize that there are some things children can't do to prevent their weight issues. And just make sure that if your child lives in a divorced household or has a home issue, that you acknowledge that. Thank you.